This is John for JohnGysBeat.com. Today I'm joined by Joey Roth as we both go on the beat with Kelly Slaughter, daughter of WWE legend, WWE Hall of Famer, Sergeant Slaughter. How are you, Kelly?
Hey, I'm great. Good to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks for
Slaughter
joining
daughter,
us.
baby.
And thank you, Joey, for setting this up. You were the one that put this together, so thank
No,
you.
no worries. I've always wanted to talk to Kelly, and I would follow her on Facebook and everything. And it's just always nice to finally meet one of your Facebook friends and actually get to speak to them and learn more about them and everything.
So, Kelly,
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about
absolutely.
yourself. What are you doing now? What have you done?
Well, since 2020, I've been on this amazing fitness journey and I've lost about 140 pounds.
Wow,
Yes,
Congratulations.
very impressive.
thank you. Thank you so much. I like to say I went from the couch to being a fitness instructor because I now actually am certified in a couple different classes to teach. So that's what I do now. I'm also learning permanent makeup. Which is like basically
I'm gonna
tattooing
say tattooed
eyebrows and
eyebrows and stuff.
eyelining.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I'm in the
Oh,
process of learning that right now, kind of a career change a little bit, shifting gears just a little bit out of the fitness industry, but I still teach the classes.
Very
So,
cool.
very cool. And congratulations on the weight loss. That's truly amazing.
Awesome. And
thank
also
you.
congratulations on being the top five Fab over 40 on Facebook, which I would never say Fab
Yes.
over 40.
Yeah.
You don't look like a day over 28.
I was going to say
Ah,
29, but we're
Congratulations
right
on that. I've
there.
been voting for you every day, and even the double votes when they count. So
Same here.
oh my gosh. Thank you
yes,
so
we're
much, you
very proud of you
guys.
for
Thank
that for
you.
sure.
Very cool.
Oh,
So,
thank you. I totally signed up for that on a whim. I just happened to see it. I follow so I'm a Bravo junkie
Oh,
and I watch like all most of the Housewives shows. And Dolores Catania is from the Jersey show, and she's like one of my favorites, and I follow her, and she's like one of the spokespersons for the show or for the contest. And I was like, that's how I learned about it. And I was like,
nice.
I'm for 40. Let me try. And overnight I became number one in my group and I've held that spot. And now I'm in the group finals. And if I can
Yes.
hold that number one spot until Thursday, then I'll be in the quarterfinals. And it's completely mind blowing to me that I've even made it this far. It's,
Well,
like I said, mind blowing.
for what you've done for the weight you lost, and it doesn't, beautiful no matter what. But it's really it's got to be a really great motivator for you to see stuff like this and to show that you're all that hard work that you've done is paid off in tenfold, and it's just great that you can see the smile on your face, and that right there is an awesome thing. So, but it's really cool about your fitness routine and
yeah.
everything.
So tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about growing up with the Sarge.
Oh, well, so growing up with my dad was obviously not a typical childhood. My dad was not present for most of my childhood just because he was on the road for most of my childhood working. But he was very present in our lives, even though he wasn't present physically. He always made an effort to send us flowers, send us some kind of gift, or make sure he gave us a phone call, or, this was back before anyone had cell phones. You
Could
were
you
calling a
imagine?
house phone
Could
from,
you imagine back in the 80s if they had social media
Yeah.
with the
No
old school
internet.
guys and all that stuff? Holy, oh my God. I cannot even imagine how the divorce rate would be.
right? Yeah. So it was it I don't have anything to compare it to. It was just that
You're
was
right.
the way my childhood was, and
Hmm.
he was wrestling since before I was born. So I don't know what it's like to have a dad that's like not in the public eye and, things like that. It's funny because as a kid, I thought everyone had someone in their family that was famous.
Yeah, but you know what? Not everybody has a member of their family where you could say, yeah, my dad's part of G.I. Joe.
I was, yeah, yeah. He's got his own
Could you
action
imagine that?
figure.
Hey, little Timmy, what does your dad do? Oh, he owns his own restaurant. Oh, little Bobby, what does your dad do? He's a fireman. Little Kelly, what does your dad do? He's in G.I. Joe.
Yep. And a professional wrestler.
Yeah, so
Right.
he had two action figures. He had the G.I. Joe and the WWE or WWF at the
Yeah.
time.
No, and I
Hmm.
mean, no, people, I always like to think about the families and stuff with old school workers like that. Because, I mean, your dad was like Roddy, Bob Orton, all these guys are on the road 300 and some odd days. Nobody really understand how it felt for the wives and the children, um, how they would feel. Because, I mean, nowadays there's therapy for everything. But back then, I'm sure there wasn't. So I would like to see someone write a book, maybe like you, who interviews other workers' children and see how they got through all of this. I mean, come on, how many birthdays and Christmases and so forth? And I know it's got to be difficult like that, but nobody really understands the child's aspect from it. Now it's the time when all of us children of that age, of that time, are old enough to actually understand and tell stories. So I would like to see something like that done because you always hear the biographies of everybody like that, but you just don't know about the whole family aspect. So that's something I'd like to see. You could steal that. Just think
Yeah.
of the book.
I will. I'll put you in the dedication.
The appendix, or what do they call that?
Have you given any thought to that?
I have thought about writing a book before, not necessarily on that wavelength, but just kind of a because everyone always wants to know what was it like to be Sergeant Slaughter's daughter, and it's like, well, you really want to know what it's like. Here you go. But I just haven't done it.
You'll get there. I mean, like the whole entire. I mean, we want to know more about you. So, but I know like the whole entire Iraqi sympathizer thing. So you guys were getting legit threats back then. I couldn't imagine. I mean, I don't know how old you were then. Teenager or whatever. That's got to do something to you. And I mean, who do you talk to about something like that? There's no online. You know, my dad's
Therapy.
IraqiSympathizer.com. Please help me. There's nothing like that for you to speak to. I mean, you talk to your family and all that, but nobody knows that kind of stuff that you go through. And right, that is admirable that, did it go down bad roads or something like that? It's just really, there's a lot of things see, I think about stuff like that. A lot of people don't think about that. It's like, you know, that had to be scary.
It was very scary, and it was scary to think that people hated my dad so much that they wanted to kill him and kill us. And you know, but for a character and a storyline and a gimmick and but I think that just goes to show how good my dad was at what he did.
One of the
And
greatest, one of
Yeah.
my favorite.
yeah, yeah. And in real life my dad's quiet and reserved and um definitely has a very big presence about him. And but he's also very kind and generous and giving, and he loves his fans, and he's very humble. And I think he owes a lot of that to my mom,
No.
um, for keeping his feet on the ground. And she didn't want him to be a wrestler, and so she really didn't give a flip
Yeah.
of all these things that he was
Right.
doing. And she just wanted him home with her and with their kids. And she definitely loved the lifestyle that it benefited for her and for us and everything. But at the end of the day, she just wanted her husband home. And
Bob,
but
take out the garbage.
Sarge,
Bob, go clean the garage. Bob, or
yeah, and
like I told you, like to call him Uncle Bob.
yeah,
Everybody calls him Uncle Bob.
Sarge wasn't allowed in the house.
No, that's good.
So
Oh.
I think Mama was
yeah,
probably Sarge.
right, exactly. And he was not allowed in the house. And if my mom thought that, like, hey, are you cutting a promo on me right now? Like, no, this is not how that's going to work. First of all, second of all, like, this is my house. I run this show perfectly fine when you're not here. So you're either gonna contribute in a positive way when you're home, or you don't have to come home.
Oh, I like that. That's a tough woman right there.
I like that. I
Yeah.
respect that.
That's why moms are the best.
Yeah.
did you get to see your father wrestle a lot in person? And how was that?
So the first few times that I saw my dad wrestle was traumatizing.
Who
So
can't
I
match
was really
anyone?
young. And well, he was wrestling the Iron Sheik,
Mm,
and it was a family show in the Poconos, and Iron Sheik came out with a weapon, and he kept moving it from his belt to his boot, from his boot to his belt, and the ref was checking his boot when it was put in his belt, and that whole song and dance. And my
yeah.
sister and I are like terrified, thinking that this guy, who we know, by the way, outside of being the Iron Sheik, um, is getting ready to kill our dad, like right in front of
In front of
us. And
15,000 people.
it was, yeah, it was scary.
Yeah, that's
So after that, I think my mom and dad just wanted to protect us. And so we didn't really see a lot of the stuff live. He would maybe show it to us later, knowing like what happened in the match and like how bloody was the match, how
yeah,
bad did he get hurt in the match, did he win?
right.
If
It's like,
he's winning, then he's definitely going to let us watch it, but as long as
right.
it wasn't too
This is
bloody.
the other ways what I
Yeah.
can order. But
Yeah.
it also has to feel like I could see right behind you how surreal it is to see your father as an action figure. Could you, you go to Walmart or something and you can see your dad hanging on the peg, and that's gonna be so cool. Be like, hey,
It is
kids,
cool. And it was cooler as an adult, like when I could appreciate it more. Like
yeah.
as a kid, it was just like, yeah, whatever, dad, that's cool. See you later. I want to go play with my Barbies, and they're bigger than your doll. And,
Oh, that is so
But
awesome.
the other kids around you, like, what did they think? They obviously knew.
my friends, is
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that what you said?
yeah.
Um, so my close friends knew who my dad was, and the kids in the neighborhood and things like that. When we moved to Connecticut, we moved into a very small town. Everybody knew everyone.
Hmm.
So they did know. When we moved to Charlotte the second time around when I was in high school, I kind of hid it from people. I didn't want people to know who my dad was. I wanted people to get to know me for who I was,
Right.
and not, want to be my friend because my dad's a professional wrestler. So I kind of hid it, not because I was ashamed of it, but just because,
Well,
to protect myself.
you wanted people to know Kelly. You didn't want to know like we're talking about Kelly's dad, but we want to know more about you. So you want to, you're your own person as well. Yeah, you got a famous father, of course. It's great, but you want everybody, it's like, well, what about me? You have dreams and aspirations and all that stuff too. I mean, you have things that you want to do that you are doing and everything like that. Like,
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
it's like there's nothing wrong with. I would have done the same thing.
yeah. And
And
when you have an opportunity to start over like that, where you are moving to a place where nobody knows you,
Right.
it's a lot easier to do. And even now, I don't really tell people. Usually it's somebody else. Like
Hey, do you know who her
it's
dad
somebody
is?
else telling someone, yeah, you know who her dad is? And people will be like, why didn't you tell me? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm supposed to be like, hey, my name is Kelly and my dad's a professional wrestler.
My,
It's
my
nice
dad's
to meet
Sergeant
you.
Slaughter. How you doing?
You know, yeah, you'd be like, what a bitch.
Yeah, I'd be like,
She's so
okay,
stuck up.
right?
God.
God, your dad. Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So,
tell us a little bit about you mentioned, you're shifting a little bit away from the fitness. Tell us then a little bit about, what is entailed in your new ventures.
yeah, so I am kind of shifting gears and getting into permanent makeup, which is cosmetic tattoos. Which is obviously for mainly for women. It's eyebrows, eyeliner, lip blush, Men can get that as well if that's what they choose to do. And then also there's medical tattooing that you can get into for women that have breast cancer,
Oh, wow.
and medical tattooing for areolas and things like that that I would like to eventually also get into. Things like that just to like give back to the community and support women. And
Good.
I'm by trade an esthetician, which is like facial, skincare, waxing, things like that. So I kind of got away from that for a little while, and now I'm kind of getting back into it by way of permanent makeup. And I'm
you could open
really,
up your own
really
facility
excited
with
about it.
everything. You could open up your own facility with everything and then put a wrestling ring in the back and have your dad stretch people.
There you
Especially if they
go.
don't
There you
pay.
Oh, stretches and stretch marks. You can take care of all of it. But I
Yeah,
wanted to ask
there
you
you
more about
go.
your fitness, more about your fitness stuff and then incredible weight loss and everything. I know it wasn't right away. So what did you do a lot of walking more? Because the holidays are coming up, and I don't know about you, but I'm not going to be able to put that extra slice of pie down, and I think I need to lose a couple of pounds and all that stuff. So, what kind of advice, especially especially for the women out there, because unfortunately, the guys we could look like this and nobody cares, but the women are held to such higher standards, and which is not fair, no matter what. So, what kind of like my wife suffered from an eating disorder and all that stuff, and she got the body dysmorphia or whatever like that. So she was very conscious, I can't even say the word, thinking about her looks all the time, but now she's healthy now, so she's beautiful. Not
Good,
that she wasn't, but
good.
what do you say to women like that they could be watching, how to, do stuff like that?
You start where you are. And what I mean by that is
Excuse me.
I started by walking 5 mailboxes because that's all I could do. I could walk 5 mailboxes and then back. And then the next day I went 7 mailboxes and back. Now, if I had been like, I'm joining the gym and I'm going to work out 7 days a week and I'm cutting out all fat, all carbs. I'm not going to eat. I'm eating 100 calories a day. Like, I am really going to be on this fitness. I'm doing it. I would have totally failed. I probably would have made it to the gym and signed up and never gone back because I put these expectations on myself that were completely unachievable.
Wow.
So that is what I mean by when I say you start where you are. If all you can do is walk 5 mailboxes, then go walk 5 mailboxes. And then tomorrow go walk six, and then seven, and then eight, and then work your way up as far as you can go. Can you get up to a mile? Can you go do that extra loop around? Just push yourself as much as you can for where you are. And then once you start walking, then maybe you can start working on your food intake and what you're eating. And there's so many ways you can look at your nutrition.
Nice.
There's so many fad diets out there now. I definitely say stay away from fad diets. You want to find something that is sustainable for you. So if eating a low carb lifestyle is sustainable for you in the long term, then do a low carb lifestyle. That's totally fine if you think you can sustain that. I did keto for a little while and I lost a lot of weight.
Nice.
And I was also working out at the gym, and my weight like melted off like that. And I was so happy and feeling
Motivates.
good about myself. And then I started eating carbs
Oh,
and I ballooned back up again. And I would joke and be like, I look at a piece of rice and I gained 5 pounds. And it
oh,
was because
geez.
my body had to get used to having carbs again.
Oh,
And
wow.
then I was able to start coming back down because then I was doing it in a more healthy way by eating in a calorie deficit.
Okay.
Um, I don't count anything. Um, I don't count carbs. I don't count calories. Um, okay, I'm lying. What I do count is protein, how much protein I'm drinking, and I count how much water intake
Right.
I have.
Wow.
Those are the two important things. I end up eating a lot of keto products because they're high in fiber, high in protein, and um, being high in fire makes them lower in net carbs. I don't really care about carbs
Yeah.
in that way. It's just that they end up having fiber in them. So I like to have
Wow.
fiber, protein, and water, and that is what I focus on.
That's awesome. See,
Great advice.
it sounds simple. I mean, it's not that simple, but it's as simple as that. You know, it's just
And it's what works for me.
yeah.
It's what works for me.
And it worked pretty damn good.
And you
Yeah.
stuck with it.
Very, very proud and very
The
happy for you.
applause for the determination that, after you started getting it back, you stuck with it and still marched through and you look fantastic. And as you said, you're in the running. Tell us a little bit about that. Where can people, where can people vote for you?
Oh, so if you go to my Facebook page, Slaughter Daughter, I post about it on there. You can go on my Instagram page. There's a link in my bio. It's Slaughter Daughter Official. Um, it's Fab Over 40, and it's basically a competition to help raise awareness and money for breast cancer charity. But it's all women that are fabulous over 40, and it's like, what makes you fabulous over 40? For me, it's gaining this confidence, um, owning my power, not caring what people think, showing my daughter what a strong female, independent woman looks like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Things like that. So it's pretty exciting. Like I said, I didn't think I would make it through the first round, and now I'm in the group finals, looking at the quarterfinals, and
And I,
it's
I,
unbelievable to
And I
me.
could tell genuinely by your posts that you're very appreciative and shocked, which you shouldn't be, and all that stuff. It's very, very humbling to see how freaking awesome you are when you post stuff like this. I'm like, I can't believe I'm here.
Uh,
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So it's
and
great to
yes,
see.
It's inspirational,
Very,
it
very, very, very,
truly
very.
is. And we're going to encourage everyone to check it out and vote for her. Joey and I are voting for her. We can't do it alone. Everybody else has to pitch in on this. Let's get her to the next round.
I'll put the links on my Facebook when
thank
we're
you.
done with all this stuff and all that stuff. And
Awesome.
good, good,
Thank
good.
We really appreciate your time. We thank you,
you.
and we I know, speaking for Joey, we were huge fans of your dad. Back in the day, I mean, there's nobody bigger than Sergeant Slaughter back in the day, from the GI Joe to the wrestling. He's one of our childhood heroes, and it's really been fantastic talking to you. You're such a positive person. You bring such positive energy to it. And once you write that book, we want an update from you.
And the thing is,
Absolutely.
as much as we loved your dad, now we're just as a big a fan of you, and just
Thank
so
you.
blown back by how amazing you are and how nice you are and everything like that. We're pulling for you. We're behind
Mhm.
you. And I think you just surpassed your dad, and you just, he's yeah. We're talking about you now,
Yeah.
and I know sometimes it's like, oh yeah, talk about my dad, but we have to do that. But we're very proud of you, and this was really nice for us to get to speak to you like this. And thank you, Johngy, for allowing me to tag in on this one.
Well, thank you, Joey, for joining me, and thank you for your time. Slaughter Daughter, we love it.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was my pleasure to talk to both of you.
Well, hopefully we get to have you back on maybe in a few months and see, after you win, if you still talk to us lonely ass people. Okay, I have to talk to us maggots.
Remember us little people.
Yes,
There you go.
of
So
course I would come back and say hi.
thank you. I appreciate it.
It's
John,
really been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.